Hey gang, what's going on? Juan here. As you can tell, I'm not at home. I'm on the way to work, but unfortunately, I wake up this morning and what I get are some of your tweets letting the gang know that Chyna has sadly passed away at just 45 years old. Everybody's talking about this nonstop. Mick Foley wrote a post, I believe it was on his Facebook page, talking about how moved, how sad he is about this. As a matter of fact, one of Chyna's last tweets was a picture of her and Mick Foley. Now, getting to the recent situation regarding Chyna, anybody that follows her on social media or WWE as a whole, there's been a controversy regarding what has or has not happened between Chyna and Triple H. And now, I'm not going to really get to that as a whole now, but I'm just going to say that her last couple of years, from a personal and professional standpoint, were a little bit weird. They were a little bit out there. She had a short stint with a porn career. She had her YouTube channel. All of these allegations that apparently she tried to get some sort of apology or apologize to Triple H. A lot of things that left a lot of people getting a little bit sour on her. But this has happened. And what we need to remember is, why is it important that we acknowledge that Chyna has passed away? And the fact of the matter is that Chyna was a pioneer for the women during the Attitude Era. Anybody can look back, we'll send a tweet about this, when Chyna first debuted. It was with Hunter Hearst Helmsley. It was a segment involving Goldust and Marlena, who later became Terry Runnels. And from that moment, people knew that she was really different, a really aggressive powerhouse that would eventually become Intercontinental Champion. She was the first woman to ever appear at the Royal Rumble, participate in it. She was part of DX. She had an outstanding storyline with Eddie Guerrero, which is easily my favorite thing throughout her career. She had a very short stint in TNA and a lot of other questionable side things. But getting to the primary topic, we talk about who's deserving of Hall of Fame induction, and Chyna is easily up there, almost above any other diva, superstar, female competitor, whatever you want to call them. The fact of the matter is that Chyna is definitely up there because she was in there in that key moment where wrestling was cool. And a lot of people forget, in many ways, Chyna became a pop culture icon. She would later go on to going to different reality series. But when you think about the context of the ninth wonder of the world, you don't just get a nickname like that. She went through so many phases. She was in Playboy. And this is not a whole about, hey, she was nude. It's like, these things don't just happen to anybody. If they happen to Chyna, it's because she was important enough that they felt they needed to get her to these different outlets. So now, I sort of want to say that my favorite thing in her career was, as I mentioned, her storyline with Eddie Guerrero and Chyna. It's really bitter, not even bittersweet. It's just bitter to think that neither of these individuals are no longer with us. So now, whether heaven or whatever you want to believe in, hopefully they're able to somehow be reunited and hang out and remember the great times. But it sucks that as time goes by, more and more people from our favorite moments continue to fade away. I was watching a recent episode of Raw, watching a couple ones from like 99 to 2002 and these different ages. And so many times you think, well, that person's gone, that person's gone, that person's gone. And by gone, I mean like passed away, no longer in the company, although that's also a case. But Chyna, may she rest in peace. This has got to be a very difficult time for her family. I would like to know, what are some, or either a match or your favorite storyline involving Chyna? Drop that in the comment section. Let's get a conversation going, celebrating the career of Joanie Laurer, aka Chyna, aka the ninth wonder of the world, aka somebody much deserving for a spot in the Hall of Fame. We can get to why maybe that didn't happen. I think most people can get to some assumptions, but regardless, we got tweets from Stephanie, we got tweets, acknowledgements from the WWE, which is really, really nice. So hopefully this scales up to the point where she finally gets some sort of recognition, because regardless of what happened that maybe is in the darker part of her life or her career as a whole, there's this whole bunch of awesome things that Chyna did, from TV shows to wrestling to all of these things, and that should not go to waste. That should not be ignored, because unlike the Benoit situation, Chyna was part of the community. Chyna became involved. Chyna didn't do anything that you can say. I mean, maybe the porn career is something WWE doesn't want to acknowledge, but Chyna's a human being. She made mistakes on a personal level, but who hasn't, realistically? And what better way to say, despite all that, here we are acknowledging her in a rightful place, and she will be cemented into wrestling history. Hopefully that happens. I think that's something that should happen. Once again, regardless, I can't stress this enough, but that's my opinion. So hopefully, what's next? We don't know why this happened. I don't want to get into any assumptions. At 45 years of age, there aren't a lot of options, but because we don't know, I'm not going to get to that. But thank you for watching. Let's celebrate the career of Chyna Joni Laurer, and we will be back with a lot more right here on Bite That.